So this is my night review of the Premier League darts. I want to see where quite a strange night, wasn't it? Quite a strange night in Berlin where we saw the where we saw Steve Bunting traded the bullet, traded his bullet to win night 9 in Berlin after not winning a game in the Premier League so far. And all of a sudden, he just wins the night to say that the comeback is on, people. The comeback is on. But Stephen Bunting, 6-5 win over Durham Price in the final. Durham Price only had to play 2 games due to Mike Van Duren withdrawing due to his shoulder injury, which was a shame, wasn't it? Because Van Duren had a 100% record in Berlin. Obviously, that will still stay because he didn't play this week in Berlin. But it all started off with Steve Bunting, then a 6-2 win over Neff Nacional. The first half of the game was poor from Bunting, but second half of the game he improved just like that and probably got him the win over Neff Nacional, which was probably unexpected. Everyone would have fancied Nacional to get the win. Luke Humphries got a 6-3 win over Bob Watts. Chris Dorby, I thought April Fools was on Tuesday, but it was still April Fools last night as Chris Dorby defeated what is probably the unstoppable Luke at the moment, and Chris Dorby ended up beating him 6-2, which we were probably all shocked about, but at the same time, it's darts, isn't it? It is darts. Nothing will ever surprise you. Obviously, Durham Price got a bye into the semi-finals. Stephen Bunting, 6-2 win over Luke Humphries. Again, that was a bit of a shock, wasn't it? As much Bunting did win his first game, people would have thought, yeah, Humphries should get the win. But Humphries didn't turn up in that game, Bunting did. And Durham Price got a 6-2 win over Chris Dorby. It's just typical, isn't it? Just typical. It's just typical for me because Chris Dorby ends up beating Luke and Durham Price is probably seen as more of a winnable game than Luke and Chris Dorby ends up getting beat of Durham Price. And obviously Stephen Bunting obviously won the final against Durham Price. The crowd were putting Durham Price off. But we do need to realise it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in darts at the end of the day. Durham Price, I don't think he'll play in the crowd, I don't think. That's what he was giving Sat Hatsit clapping and thumbs up to the crowd. By the way, Durham Price's war count for the night was on 18 because he does love a war, doesn't he? He loves a war, Durham Price. As I was doing a count on it. It just makes me laugh when Durham Price just does that, man. But that's the character he is in that, and that's why he's so good for the Premier League, Durham Price. That's why he's so good for the Premier League. And I don't agree with Durham Price getting the 2 points though. I think they need to change that in darts where if someone can't play due to an injury or whatever, you just get by, that's it. It shouldn't really count towards the league table, in my opinion. I'm not saying it because it's Durham Price, I'm saying it for every player as well. Because what happens at the end of this campaign, that one player misses out by 1 point and Durham Price sneaks in there. That's what you need to think about. That's what you need to think about, in my opinion. People will be like, yeah, but it's not his fault. Yeah, but I'm not being funny. I don't think he should get points for me for getting the bye, in my opinion. Obviously, yeah, Durham Price definitely deserved points. Obviously, for playing the game since Dorby and Bunting, definitely. Yeah, definitely deserved points on that. But, yeah, I don't think he deserves points for getting the bye. Because I don't think that's fair, in my opinion. Just my opinion. And I'm more on the Mike Van Duren injury. I think this shows for me that as much as we are loving the 12th of darts these days, these players are playing far too many games for me. Playing far too many games. I know people will say, yeah, but the player can easily tell the PDC that he's withdrawing from this tournament, etc., etc. Because that does happen. But it's not just Van Doren, it's even players who are like, I don't know, 67 in the world. They even play a lot of games as well. So I do think the PDC need to start looking at their darts calendar for me, because I just think for me it's getting too much of these players now, getting far too much. The amount of games that they have to play. So I do think they need to like trim down the calendar for me. And they don't even spend time with families, do they? They all got families, and the best they can spend time with the families probably at Christmas, 2 to 3 weeks. When the World Championship finishes, maybe weeks. This is why dance players deserve respect, man. The amount of games they play as well. And when people say, it's a pub sport, bleh, it's a pub sport. No, well, it is, but it's still a sport at the end of the day. Why is it on Sky Sports then if it's not a sport? It makes no sense. And the people that say that is not a sport, I'm sorry, you're curious. You are absolutely curious, in my opinion. So, but yeah, but anyways, onto the league table. The league table looks like this. Yeah, with 26, Humphreys with 20, Durham Price 15, Van Durham 13, Cross 12, Aspinall 10, Dorby 7, and all of a sudden it's looking a bit better for Bunting, because 8 points may be seen as a big gap, but I tell you what, it's catchable. It is catchable still, in my opinion. Especially if Van Durham and Price don't get that at together, because they can lose games, let's be real. And all of a sudden Bunting, if Bunting then carried the momentum into night 10, all of a sudden, that closes. That closes all of a sudden. After he couldn't win a game, and he's won this night, and all of a sudden, he's gonna have momentum done into night 10 as well. So, still all to play for then. Obviously, I think the top two, I still think the top two will qualify, in my opinion. As much Humphreys has not been at it, in my opinion, but I think that's a good thing for Humphreys. Just turn off your A game at the playoffs, in my opinion. Not just that, still all to play for in the playoffs. Price, Van Durham, Cross, Arsenal. I even said Dorby and Bunton's still in it then. I even said they're still in it. So, but that is my night 9 review of the Premier League darts. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Obviously, a lot more to talk about, as Stephen Bunting triggers his bullet pods to not just win his first game of the Premier League campaign, to win the whole night in Berlin, which was quite a strange night of Premier League darts. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. See you all for the night 10 predictions.